You about to check out Michael Knowles. Apparently, he checked out this movie called The Marvels. Ugh. I don't want to watch that, but I got a feeling I might have to do like a video essay or something along those lines. Let's check it out, man. Let's see what Michael Knowles has to say. Check out his channel to see the full opinion. If he don't eat some of that damn popcorn, I'm getting sick of these damn trailers. But he'll come in here and tell you the review, and he don't touch that popcorn. Eat some of the popcorn, Michael. You look good as hell. It's probably fake.
If you love superhero movies, but you think the big problem is there aren't enough chicks, this movie is still terrible.
You're forgetting something.
There are enough chicks.
I'm revengeful. We have to stop her.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever a complaint. I don't think I ever say, yo, this movie just needs more chicks. I don't think that was ever my actual goal. I wanted to see a good movie, right? I'm not really into that. Just on some, I just want to see a bunch of chicks. Like, what? How old am I?
The start of a new beginning.
I'm going to give you my formal review in just a moment. I'm going to give you a very comprehensive review. It's going to have quadrants and ratings and numbers and things. But first, though, I want to tell you what happens in the movie. I want to do that, but I can't because I don't know. Because I watched the movie, I watched every minute of that stupid movie, and I still have no idea what happened.
He did not just say, I want to spoil you it. Can't. I don't even know what happened.
Here's what I know happened. There's a white lady, and then there's a black lady, and then there is a younger, more ethnically ambiguous, vaguely brown kind of girl. And so you've checked all of the racial diversity there, and you got a lot of chicks. But I don't really understand how they relate to one another. The white lady is Captain Marvel. She's the only one whose name I really remember. Then the black lady related to Captain Marvel when she was little or something, but then Captain Marvel went away and she was angry about that. And then the girl, the newcomer girl.
I know the fine-ass adult. I can't remember the actress name, but I mean, when they announced that, I was like, oh, I remember her fine-ass from the Spike Lee movie, right? I just knew her as like the fine-ass actress. There was a movie that Spike Lee did that was so garbage. It's supposed to be a remake of like A Tale from Homer, if I'm not mistaken, or some kind of like old school grease tale where the gangsters in the neighborhood were doing too much crime in Chicago. So the woman was like, we're just not going to have sex, and that's going to stop the violence. And it worked, I guess, right? Crazy. But Spike Lee did like a new hood version of this, right? It was horrible, but she has some good scenes.
Her character name I do remember. It's Kamala. I remember it because of the vice president. It's Kamala Khan, and she's a big.
You talking about the black chick? I was like, you lying? No way.
Fan of Captain Marvel. And this was when I knew this movie was going to be terrible, because the movie has no relationship to reality whatsoever. Because the very first premise that I've got to swallow in the movie is that little girls are just idolizing Captain Marvel, that they're lying in their bed saying, when I grow up, I want to be Captain Marvel, which is what the feminists want little girls to do. They want them to lie.
In this world, I guess they would, right? If you're a little feminist girl, you probably would idolize Captain Marvel in that universe, right? The whole thing shouldn't be based on fact. It's all a comic book movie. It's all stupid. Yo, fan, Captain Marvel in general is just dumb. It's dumb as hell.
Lie on their bed. They want to pretend that little girls want to be big superhero wrestler, sumo boxers someday or something, but they don't. No. Little girls want to be princesses, and they want to be swept off their feet by Prince Charming, and they want to do.
Not all. None. I don't think all. Right? They might want to be princesses and all that good stuff, but probably not in the same way. But not all. I don't want to generalize.
Do what women have done for all of history, and they're going to have the same desires that women have had for all of history. And so the feminist claptrap that's come about since the 1960s is just fake. And it's fake because it doesn't explain how women really behave, but it also doesn't even speak to the desires that women have. So from the beginning, I said, oh no, here we go. Here we go. Then Samuel L. Jackson comes in, and he's running around his sort of chaotic ship doing something. I don't know. He's a guy, and he's telling them about a mission or something. And there's a bad girl. She's a girl, Dar Dar Binks, or I don't know, whatever the Dar character is. She's going to destroy the world. And so Captain Marvel and the other lady and the kid have to stop her. But the reason they all have to do it together is because they've become entangled. They discovered an ancient artifact, and because of this, they switch places all the time. And why and how do they switch places? I don't really know. The filmmakers try to explain this probably 2 or 3 or 4 times, and it never makes any more sense than it did the previous time. And it's really just a cheap little filmmaking trick, which is whenever the writers have gotten themselves into a spot where they can't write themselves out of it, they can just switch the characters out and completely avoid any of the problems of actual storytelling. So you've got these characters who are all extraordinarily one-dimensional with
That definitely sounds like some stuff I would not even want to watch, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right. The whole movie they doing this? That sounds like a TV show episode. Like one episode of a show where we're switching bodies. Oh, like the whole series is my bad. Movie is insane.
no stakes whatsoever.
They must have
There's
had nothing.
this minor conflict between Captain Marvel and the other lady, but they just resolve that by, spoiler alert, Captain Marvel says, "Hey, I'm sorry I left." And then the other lady says, "Oh, it's okay. Let's work together now." So that resolves those stakes for whatever they were worth. And then the little girl, her stakes are that she really likes Captain Marvel. And she's really in awe of Captain Marvel. She's starstruck. And then Captain Marvel's like, "Hey, stop being so starstruck." And she's like, "Okay, that's fine." And then they all work together. So that was it. They resolved that issue. And then I don't know what the evil person's doing. Some lady who has a few villainous moments, but otherwise you're never afraid of anything. And then there's the big,
Who's even the villain? Like, who even cares, bro? Like, I don't know. I don't care who the villain is.
exciting scene, and nothing really happens whatsoever. The 2 most notable aspects of the movie, there's a cat who keeps showing up, which I actually like. To me, this is the most truthful aspect of the movie because it proves that Captain Marvel is just a witch. Because she's got this little cat, like her familiar spirit that's around.
Yo, nah, no lie. That was the funniest shit. Oh, snap. I didn't mean to curse. That was the funniest thing I heard Michael Knowles say, like, ever, bro. He said, actually, you know what? I like the fact that this cat proved that she was a witch. Oh, no. No, that was a good one. Line that back. Yeah, I got to hear that one more time. Oh, he killed that.
Who keeps showing up. The 2 most notable aspects of the movie. There's a cat who keeps showing up, which I actually like. To me, this is the most truthful aspect of the movie because it proves that Captain Marvel is just a witch. Because she's got this little cat, like her familiar spirit that's around with her, like all witches throughout all of history. Because women who cast weird magic spells and would travel through the air, you know, on broomsticks, they were called witches in the past. And so this is a nice nod to that, and I got a kick out of it. The other notable aspect of the movie is there's a song and dance number. They arrive at some planet, and in this planet, the way the people communicate.
Oh, I'm crying right now, bro. Stop. I need a smoke break. I need a smoke break, bro. There you go.
There's a song and dance number. They arrive at some planet, and in this planet, the way the people communicate is they do song and dance. So they do that for a little bit for no reason, and then they work it out and they fight and they beat the bad guy. The most obvious thing wrong with the movie is the feminism. At the physical level, the notion that these women can fight men physically. They can't. We know that because men are physically stronger than women. So,
well, damn, we talking about in this comic book world, there's not many people that could go against Captain Marvel according to them. So, yeah. Or whoever got powers, you know.
Then they say, well, no, they can because they're super women. But okay, what's the superpower? The whole point of superhero movies is they're supposed to tell you something about human nature. The superhero power in the feminist world is just becoming a man, which probably explains why we've gone in short order from feminist ideology to a complete erasure of the distinctions between the sexes to a complete abolition of marriage to now transgender ideology. Because the feminists really believe, it's a very anti-woman view, that the way that you can make a woman, an ordinary woman, super is just to turn her into a man. But that is not the case. And it's actually a deeply misogynistic view to hold, and it's not compelling at all for the audience. Underneath that, women and men don't want to see women fight the bad guys and men swept off their feet by Princess Charming. That's just an inversion of desire. There's really no role for men in this movie, and the women are from whatever planet Captain Marvel is.
Nah, no lie. I ain't trying to see this movie in general, nigga. How about that? Trying to see this garbage, trash ass film.
You know it's bad because I took a quick little perusal. I said, am I being harsh? Overly harsh on this? And no, even the liberal critics admit this thing is just horrific. The one silver lining is that the young girl is pretty good. She gives the best performance it is possible to give with this horrific script in this dumb universe that they've created. But otherwise, it's totally unbearable. Even the liberal critics admit it. The problem with superhero movies, even if you like them, is when they start to break their own rules, is when they start to just make up rules on the fly, when the rules can't be explained, when the screenwriters have to try to explain 3 and 4 times why it is that all the characters are switching places and no one quite ever gets to it. And it's just shoddily written, and there are lame excuses for flashbacks to the first movie. And who knows, maybe Marvel is building towards some bigger movie here, and this is just a stepping stone. But if it is, I
think that's been the plan in every Marvel movie for the last like fucking 15 years. But not me trying to be smart. Yeah, I think they have like a big villain. Isn't it supposed to be King or Khan? Or I think it's supposed to be Khan or King. I don't know. They might be moving him out because the actor Jonathan Majors got canceled. Whatever. That's pretty crazy, but. Yeah, I have no hope in Marvel. I'm kind of superhero movie out. Like, am I the only one? I'm the only person that feel like that. Like, I'm the only person that's superhero movie out. I don't feel like that. Like, damn, how many more superhero movies we gonna have? If we do one, how about we do some characters that we never did before?
shudder to think what that will be. Right now, go to genucel.com/Knowles, letter Y, letter T. Our friends at Genucel have launched a new product called Genucel 3, which works fast on your under eye bags and puffiness. Genucel 3 is smoother, more luxurious, and...
Nick, I'm not trying to watch this.
Are unfamiliar with it. My grading scale, I still don't quite understand it myself, but Mr. Davies and I thought it up. You've got one axis.
And I felt the same way for years. Yeah, this thing is starting to get so trash, man. It's been trash for a while. I'm done with Marvel. Yeah, Marvel's really ruining it. Minus Deadpool 3. Does that count? Yeah, I guess it is under MCU now, right? I want to see what they do with Wolverine. It's coming out next year. They've been pumping that for years.
It's lame to epic. And then you got, that's the y-axis, I guess, right? Then you got the x-axis, and that is lib to trad. And then you impose on the axis quadrants. And let's say you're here, right? And you go epic, trad. That's like Braveheart. That's like the Passion of the Christ. That is disproportionately Mel Gibson movies. If you are thinking of a really epic movie that gets plaudits, but it's super lib, you'd think of a movie like American Beauty. Now, if you think of a movie that's extremely lame and super...
Passion that damn good, bro. Like, I don't remember. Was that good? And I actually like American Beauty.
For lib, you think of a movie like the all-chick Ghostbusters. Now, I think we're going to actually have to replace that one with a new example. And then if you think of a movie that is traditional and conservative, but perhaps not as gloriously made. Mr. Davies said it, not me. He said, well, an example of one of these movies would be maybe some of the movies that Ben Davies, have been in. Not all. He's been in great movies, but maybe some would fit into that quadrant. And where does the Marvels go? It's a 0. It's so lame. It's so powerfully lame. It is as though the Cartman version of Kathleen Kennedy wrote this script herself and then directed it and then edited it.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
It's just that lame. It's a complete perfect 0. Now, this is where it gets a little unexpected maybe. On the scale of super lib to super trad, it's not a 0. It's It would almost be better if it were super lib. It would almost be better if this were written by Angela Davis and it were a bunch of radical, communist, Amazonian, half lesbian terrorist women.
This man's crazy. Bro, he was cooking with that one comment, though. That had me rolling, bro. The witch comment, that was funny.
At least then there would be something interesting about it. It's not. It's perfectly pasteurized, corporate woke, completely inoffensive, other than to good taste. But it's inoffensive to any mainstream center-left political gobbledygook slop. So there's nothing. The nearest thing they have to something being woke is the diversity casting. They have, every different shade and every different color, and the white guys are the bad guys. But even that is so lame at this point. There's nothing edgy about that. It's so on the woke scale, on the lib to trad scale, I'd give it a 3, maybe a 4. Let's give it a 3.5 on that scale. So the movie then, on a scale of what is it, 0 to 20? I guess I'd give it a 3.5. Totally.
Yo, that's crazy. 3.5. No, you said to 20. So whoever put this on the screen, they wrong. This would actually be like a 1 point something, right?
Bottom of the barrel on epicness, but just like only a little bit on the lib side. To quote my distant cousin, Hillary Clinton, it's just a movie to be thrown in with the basket of other deplorables and never heard from again. See you next time.
No, he did not put salt and pepper at the end. This dude, Michael Knowles, is hilarious, bro. And that witch comment still, that was funny. I'm mad I didn't think of that. That's hilarious, bro. It's like, and she had a cat, and I like this part because it confirmed she was a witch. Her or Brie Larson, nigga. Which one was he speaking on? That was funny as hell, man. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. That was funny, bro. That one segment had me rolling. She's a witch.